Hello all you hardcores out there, how are you doing? It's Big Porky here, I hope you're all okay. Hello all you haters and trolls and all you people on YouTube on fake accounts who work in boxing industry. Hey, next time you do them fake accounts, you lot on YouTube, make sure you don't tell anybody because there's a lot of squealers out there. Wee! But I hope you're alright, keep watching. Because you do, don't you? Well, ever you're watching me, you're not knocking your old lady about, are you? So I'm doing all those birds out there who go you all a favour, aren't I? For an hour while you're watching me. Alright? Right then, straight into action. No messing about. Mark Hefron against Liam Williams. I think that's a good fight. But I think it's going to boil down to a good big un beats a good little un. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Liam Williams, right, is a small light middle, right, small light middleweight, and Mark Hefron, he's a small light heavyweight. Or you could say Liam Williams is a big welterweight, and Mark Hefron's a big super middleweight. So either way, there's going to be about £20 difference on night. Yeah, there might not be on scales and everything, but when they're next to each other, I can assure you that there'll be a size difference. And I think Mark Hefron will just be too big. I'm not saying that because I'm a big Mark Hefron fan. Everybody knows I'm a big Liam Williams fan, but I'm a big Mark Hefron fan, and when I was with Dennis, I did beg him and plead with him to sign Mark Hefron, but obviously we know what happened, and it's a shame really. Mark's career was stopping and starting at the time, and I just said, look, get this kid signed and sign Stacey Copeland while you're at it. Jane Couch recommended Stacey, and to me, and we did speak about it in a team meeting, but Dennis said no. And I know to this day that he regrets that now. So, and I always dig that out when I've had a beer and I see him. So, cause I'm a big Mark Hefron fan. I think he looks the part. He punches very, very hard, and I think it'd have been a great fight, Liam Cameron against Mark Hefron. But as it Mark Hefron's going to be going in with Liam Williams, which will be his hardest fight at the moment, but he's not big enough to fight Mark Hefron, Liam Williams. He's got a good punch for it, Liam Williams, but I think, as I've just said, a good big un beats a good little un, and that's just how it goes, isn't it? That's just boxing for you. But Mark Hefron's been sparring abroad and that, and I think he's real deal. He's come on, you know, and hopefully it'll be a good fight. And I do like Liam Williams, but I just think Mark Hefron will be too much for him in size. I think the other kid's got more skills, but we're going to see what happens now, aren't we? But Mark Hefron, like I said, he's 21-0 and 17 by KO. So, you know, he's a puncher. I remember Frotch were 21-0 at one point, and he had 17 KOs. Now Mark Hefron's got a better knockout percentage than Callum Smith had at the same time in their careers. So is that a good fight down the line? I think Callum Smith's too big for Mark Hefron, and maybe a bit too much at this stage at game, even though the same age. I think there's a year difference, is there? But I do think as a middleweight, Mark Hefron is humongous. He's 5'11" and he's massive at middleweight, and you know, if he beats Liam Williams, you know, he's got a British title, hasn't he? But a lot of people are saying, who has Mark Hefron really beat? You know, So that remains to be seen, doesn't it? But in Mark Hefron's last 6 fights, he's 2, 4, 6. In his last 6 fights, he's fought guys who've had 66 losses. Now, he hasn't really beat anybody, I know, yeah, I know, but I just think he's a special kid, a special talent. And that's just my opinion. You know, he beat Lewis Taylor. You know, he beat Andrew Robinson. You know, and Andrew Robinson's, you know, he's no mug. But I just think that he finds a way. And you know, he's 21-0 now, and he ranked 38 on Box Ranking World. Now, well, you know, as a middleweight in country, Hefron he's one above Liam Cameron. Liam's ranked number 4. Hefron's ranked number 3. Now, who is Mark Hefron's best win? Well, you'd have to say, on paper, you'd have to say probably Andrew Robinson, wouldn't you? That's what you'd have to say. Mark Hefron's best win is Andrew Robinson. But who's Andrew Robinson's best win? You'd have to say Nicky Genman, wouldn't you? Now, we all know what happened when Nicky Genman fought Liam Cameron, don't we? Liam Cameron iced Genman, iced him. Now, that's just how it goes. But I just think that Mark Hefron will just be too much for Williams. But you know, Liam Williams, he nearly beat. If Liam Williams' trainer had done the job properly, he'd have beat Beefy Smith, wouldn't he? So he's no slouch, is he? And but I just think, like I've just said, I just think that he's just too big for him, and that's just how it goes. But hey, listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if Mark Hefron falls at this hurdle, people are all going to turn around and say, who had Mark Hefron beat? He'd only beat Andrew Robinson, and that's how fickle boxing can get. But I think Andrew Robinson and Lewis Taylor are probably his best wins, but he just beat Andrew Robinson in June, and his career's picked up. But like I said, I was on about it to Dennis in Easter 2015 when I started with Dennis, and Mark Hefron had about 14-month layoff. You know, and he was at the time 2, 4, 6. He was 9-0. Yeah, I remember it. I remember 8 or 9 fights, and I pleaded with Dennis. Dennis, get that Mark Hefron signed. Please sign him. And he's like, no, I've heard he's a messer. And I'm not going to say the person who said he was a messer, but I'm not going to say his name because it's not fair on that person. But it's a guy who worked in boxing, and I didn't agree, and I felt at the time undermined when Dennis said no, I've been told he's a messer, and I said, well, I'm telling you he ain't a messer. And he said, well my man says he is, and he's been in boxing longer than you. And I said, look, you're making a mistake, you know. And I remember it to this day, sitting there and feeling very small at the time, and I just took it on chin. But I will prove right, won't I? And that's because I know the game, don't I? I study the game, I know it. I don't know it all, I'm not an expert. You know, I go sit in somebody's company like Steffi Bulls, and you know, they're a lot more organised, and they know a lot how boxing works a lot better than me. You know, I've got a lot to learn, I'm wet behind ears, but I just knew that Mark Hefron's got talent. Now, if Liam Williams beats Mark Hefron, I'll feel stupid. I'm also a Liam Williams fan. I like Liam Williams. He's a lovely kid. But I just think that, you know, like I've just said, a good big un beats a good little un. But anyway, which brings me to Daniel Dubois, Gorman. Now Frank Warren's commented that Gorman and Dubois sells out a 30,000 arena. What planet is Frank Warren on? Can I just ask Frank what planet you're on? What has you been smoking, Frank? Hey, what have you been smoking? That's what I want to know. I think that Dubois is a good fighter. He's a big lump, and I think he goes all the way. Does he beat Big Dosafemi? I don't know. Everybody in boxing knows that he put Femi down in sparring. I know it was a flash knockdown, but he dropped him. Now that's a big thing, that, in boxing. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Dubois is only a kid in it at the moment. He's got a lot to learn, but I think he goes all the way. Does he beat Gorman? I don't know. Gorman might have a bit too much experience for him at the moment, but they're about the same age, aren't they? Gorman's a good fighter. I want to see Dave Allen fight Gorman, and I want to see Dave Allen fight Dubois. Now David says he's going to wait it out for a slot with a British title. Now that's all very well and good, but he's got paydays to collect there against Gorman and Dubois, and I think whoever loses still can keep fighting. Now David's got another good 10 paydays in him, right? Could lose all that. Dave Allen could fight 10 more times on Sky. They're not going to let him go because you get viewing figures, don't they? He might not sell many tickets, but they get viewing figures. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Dave Allen could fight Dubois and Gorman on Sky, because they're not going to let Dave go on a Frank Warren show, are they? Dave wouldn't take that risk waiting to be paid from Frank Warren unless he were in an escrow. No. But Dubois and Gorman, they could go on Sky and they could fight Dave Allen on Sky. Now if Dave lost to both of them, he'd still get more fights. He might even get a rematch with one of them. He'd get David Price, he'd get Tom Little. Now Dave Allen against Tom Little, that's a great fight. David Price against Dave Allen. Lucas Big Daddy Brown against Dave Allen. These are all fights where David can get his Senate mix. But David also is shrewd enough to know that if he gets beat against Gorman or Dubois, he's not going to get your David Price or your Big Daddy Brown fights, is he? So he's going to want them fights first, innit? But don't forget, he's been in with Ortiz, been in with White, been in with Lenroy Thomas, Commonwealth champion twice. So let's get behind the White Rhino. Can Dave Allen win a British title? Well, you'd have to say he can't beat Huey Fury, wouldn't you? Huey's the champion. He don't beat Huey. Does he beat Gorman or Dubois? Or David Price? No, I don't think he does. If he catches David Price will go, but I don't think he beats them. David Price rocked Povetkin, and you won't put David in with Povetkin, but would you? David's already fought Ortiz, hasn't he, and took him 7 rounds. He took Yoka 10 rounds, didn't he? He's a tough man. But Dave's going to have to be fit to fight these guys, but I want to see Dave Allen fight Dubois or Gorman or Price or Big Daddy Brown. That's what I want to see him in good fights. I don't want to see him fighting your Nebos and Gash and all these others, and that guy he's just fought now, this Bracamonte or something or whatever. What were Dave doing in with him? Do you know what I mean? Dave should be going for a belt. I want to see Dave Allen win a belt. That's what I want to see. Eddie Hearn, I know you're listening. I want to see Dave Allen win a belt. Get him a belt, Eddie. Go and get him a belt. If Dennis Hobson can get Stuart Hall a world title, IBF full world title, I'm sure you can get Dave Allen a WBC international silver belt, Eddie, can't you? Or even a WBC international bronze belt. I'm sure you can get Dave Allen a belt and get him waving something up in air and get him his moment in the sun, Eddie. Do you know what I mean? But that's my opinion. Right, the big fight's coming up in next week, next 5-6 days. Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder for the WBC World Heavyweight Championship, the best belt in boxing. Right, the champion's got the belt, and he won the belt off a champion in Stavern. So he's a proper champion. Now, as far as I'm concerned, he beat Stavern on points. That's the only time he's ever gone to points, and then he knocked him out. Wilder is one of them guys, he's always going to knock you out. He'll get to you at some stage. I think that he beats Tyson Fury. I think he beats him by knockout. A lot of people are not going to be happy with my opinion on that. It's an opinion, get over it. But he beats him by knockout. Tyson cannot expect to have 3 years away from fighting good guys and come back and do it. He can't do that. 3 years ago, Tyson beats Wilder, schools him on points and wins probably 10 rounds, 10-11 rounds. This time, I think it's a 60-40 fight to Wilder, but I think he catches up with him at some stage. Now, by the looks of it, I think that the excuses are already coming out from people on Tyson's side. I've heard comments where his dad's saying that Tyson's tools aren't sharp, and I agree with John Fury. John Fury knows his boxing, but I think Tyson's tools aren't sharp. No matter the fact he's got all the weight down and that, and he hasn't had to train to get weight off in this camp. That's just something that he's going to tell himself. You should always not have to take weight off in camp. You should go into camp bang on your weight. Frotch used to. He never had to take weight off. Now, he never had to take more than weight off than necessary, which were never more than half a stone at any stage. But John Fury says that Tyson's tools aren't sharp and he don't like the fight in America. England's where it's at. I agree with John Fury on that. Tyson's tools cannot be sharp. Unless they're just saying this to lure Wilder in, I don't know. See, Tyson's very tricky, isn't he? But I just think that guys having 3 years out and abusing the body, putting 10 stone on, taking drugs. I mean, look at me, I've lost over 10 stone, so I know what it's all about, and I'm not a fighter. And I know what I went through, and I've had my moments where I've been partying and drinking, and trust me, it's a battle. But I just think that Tyson is not the fighter that he were 3 years ago. It's impossible. He couldn't get Pianetta out there, and he said he was going to turn him into an Italian garlic sausage. Now, and he asked his trainer, didn't it, end it round, do you want me to knock him out? And he said, no, get the rounds in. Now, what would one more round mean? What would one more round mean? If he'd have wanted to get that guy out, he'd have got him out there, and he did try, but he couldn't get him out. Now that's because he ain't got it no more. Harsh words, but I'm hoping he's recovered something. But going on that Pianetta performance, that is not the Tyson Fury that bashed up Chisora, bashed up Aimer, bashed up Vladimir, schooled Vladimir. Vladimir had stitches and all sorts and bad headaches. Trust me, it did happen. Now, he schooled Vladimir, but I don't want to hear about that no more. I'm fed up of people. And Tyson as well, I'm fed up of going on about Vladimir and what he did in German's back in a German stadium in Champions Back Garden. Yeah, he did that, but that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago is a long time. Now, you know, It's 3 years ago. It is what it is, isn't it? It's 3 years ago now. As far as I'm concerned, Tyson is not the same man. Look at big Femi there, with broken nose against Povetkin. Oh, Jesus, can you imagine him against Wilder? Look at that. What would Wilder have done to Femi that night? He'd have bust him up, wouldn't he? But getting back to Tyson, I don't think he wins. I think he gets knocked out. All you people out there who don't agree with me, you'll all be sharpening your keyboards, won't you, next weekend if Tyson wins on points. If Tyson loses on points, I got it wrong, because I'm going for a knockout. Wilder's knocked 39 out of 40 out. And the guy went to points where he knocked him out in rematch. And as far as I'm concerned, if you knock 39 out of 40 out, you will knock 40 out of 41 out. Sure as eggs are eggs. It will get to you now. Tyson keeps saying he's only got a right hand. And he's not beat nobody. And Luis Ortiz were 40 odd year old. Well, if Luis Ortiz were 40 odd year old and no good and all that, why didn't Tyson fight him when he had a chance to fight him? Nobody wanted to fight Luis Ortiz. Tricky Cuban Southpaw Olympian. Joshua didn't want to fight him. Eddie Hearn signed Ortiz to keep him away from Joshua. They're the simple facts. Go online and have a look. They are the facts. But as far as I'm concerned, there's only one fight to be made now, and that's Wilder against Big Femi. That's the fight. Femi with his fake IBF belt. Yeah, he got it off his champion, but come on. We all know what happened. Tyson had his belts robbed. Tyson Fury 3 years ago beats Joshua and Wilder on the same night. Tyson of now, it's impossible for him to beat Wilder. If he beats Wilder, it will be a miracle. And you will have to give him credit. He is the #1 heavyweight in the world if he beats Wilder. He will also have to rematch Wilder and get mega money. And then Joshua will still not get him. Now Joshua's probably going to go Dillian White or Chisora and Pulev next year. That's what's going to be in store. I very much doubt Fury or Wilder are going to go near Joshua next year. They're going to keep Joshua away from Wilder. But getting back to Tyson, I wish Tyson Fury all the best. I like him. I've met him a few times. He's a great kid. I've had a bite to eat with him. We've exchanged long messages, early hours at night. I like him. I've spoken to him many times. I've had Dave Allen in my house and we've all had a chat on the phone with Tyson, and I've been over with David. Everybody knows. I've done some work with Peter. And he's a nice guy, but I don't think he beats Wilder. It's just an opinion. His tools are not sharp enough, and fighters don't stay away from the top guys for 3 years and come back after 2 exhibition bouts in 6 months and all of a sudden beat the WBC world champion. Boxing isn't like that. If Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder next Saturday, I swear to God, right, that shows that boxing is in a mess. What a mess boxing's in when a guy can do what Tyson's done, come back and beat the champ. That shows to me that boxing's in a mess. That shows how weak the heavyweight division is. People keep saying to me the division has never been as weak, and you know what? I probably agree, because outside of Tyson, Joshua and Wilder, who is there really any good? You could put Dillian White in that mix, couldn't you? But he's not fought. Dillian White's not fought for a European title yet. Caballel schooled Derek Chisora. Dillian's not fought Caballel yet for European. Why is that? Why don't nobody seem to mention Caballel? Why? How come Gerald Miller don't mention Caballel, but he's mentioning Dave Allen? Jarrell Miller wants to fight Joshua, or I'll fight Dave Allen, he said on Boxing Scene the other day. Jarrell Miller against Dave Allen, come on. Is that David going to win, or is David going to collect a payday, or going to get his head punched in? Is that what Eddie Hearn's going to do to Dave Allen, just let him get his head punched in? Because sooner or later somebody's going to get hurt, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm just looking at Frank Warren's comments here about ticket sales and that. Rob Tebbett interviewed him about ticket sales and that, and he says that Al Heyman's office have told him that they're selling alright. Well, come on Frank, you usually do your own checking on tickets. Why are you putting it onto Al Heyman's toes? They're selling okay at the tickets, because they usually comp everything in America, don't they, Frank? But if Tyson loses, where does he go? Now, I want Tyson to win, and then I want him to fight Joshua and beat him. But he's going to have to fight Wilder twice if he wins. I don't think he can do that. If he loses to Wilder, I think he'll just go all out for Joshua and take a big cut in money as to what Joshua's getting. But he'll say it's investment, because he'll beat Joshua and then he'll get him again. So, but I think boxing at the moment, heavyweight boxing, it's all over the place, isn't it? Tyson's shook it up and he's brought some life back into heavyweight division. But I'm just looking at Frank Warren's stable. Who has he really got, Frank Warren? I know he's got Cattrall and Yard, but who are they fighting? Frampton and Warrington, they're his ticket sellers, aren't they? They'll get some mileage out of that fight. There'll be 2 fights there for Frank. DeBarn and Gorman, they'll keep them apart, but I don't even think that does 5,000 tickets, me, to be honest. A stacked card, I don't think it does 10,000. I don't think it sells Manchester Arena out. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. Will Tommy Fury win on his debut? Yeah, Tommy Fury will win. They're not going to risk him on his debut. He'll have an easy one. He can fight. He's a nice kid. And I wish Tommy Fury all the best. I wish Tyson all the best. I just think that Tyson should wait another year before making his comeback. My honest evaluation, in a year, if he has another 4 fights, would be a lot better. But I just don't think he can get back to being that guy. When Muhammad Ali had that layoff, he had to change his style, didn't he? But he were Ali, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? He could punch and do everything, couldn't he? Tyson can punch, but I just don't think he's a KO artist. But Asgill not agree with that. But he's had Tyson on pad, so he'll know a bit more. But heavyweights are hard enough. All heavyweights are hard enough and punch hard enough to knock you out. But I don't think he's got the power that Wilder possesses. But that's just my opinion. So like, comment, or subscribe, or like or dislike. It doesn't really matter. As long as you show an interest and leave a comment, say what you want. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to Justin at the Tea Leaf Company for the coffee and amaretto. I've just had one. Gorgeous. Thank you very much. You're a gentleman. Shout out to the lads at Eco Power in Althorpe, Doncaster. Thank you for looking after me.